Well, I mean, you're gonna get a stimmy, but what do you think would probably be the most worthless spending you would do?
Worthless?
Yeah,
it ain't.
Or not worthless, but like the most bullshit thing you'd buy.
I can't. That's not enough money. Even,
I don't.
Even the 1,400.
Right.
Like the 1,400 ain't enough, nor the 600. Like that shit ain't like. I bought some bullshit. Like I spend money. You know what it is, bro? We recording?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Like all right, look. So like, damn, what's the most bullshit? I buy some bullshit. Like sometimes I'll buy stuff to pass time.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I get bored. One thing I learned about, like, when you have money gives you like kind of like a pillow to just kind of bullshit.
Right.
But in that bullshit time, yo, you spend that shit on, yo, I swear to God, bro. Like sometimes like I'll go to the mall and I'll literally be like, damn, bro, like why the fuck I'm even in here today? Like, cause then I'll end up spending money on some shit that I ain't got no business spending money on.
Exactly. I feel you.
Or with my kids, it's like yesterday I was walking around and shit. I was shopping, and then I went to where did I go to? I went and bought something from. Yo, where the fuck did I buy something from? I know I went to Kith. No, I went to buy some shit from Kith, and I went to this other store and bought me some pants, some ridiculously expensive pants for no reason. Like I just really liked them, and then the shit that bugged me out was because they wasn't the same wash that they were when I looked online. So
like lighter or darker?
The ones I wanted, so look, right, it's some Fear God jeans. So I seen this shit online. I was gonna buy them online, but they didn't have my size. So it's this dude I be hitting. I be like, yo, you could get me. He finds me shit like from their store, and I asked him could he get the pants. He like, yeah. So he got them, and then I bought the pants. And these pants is $700, right?
I was just gonna ask you how much those. $700 for what? Jeans?
For a pair of jeans, yeah. That's what I'm saying. You talk about what type of shit I spend money on. So the jeans are $700, but look, when I get there, I was looking at them shits. I was like, nah, man, like this not what I wanted, right? I'm like, yo, this is not what the fuck I wanted. But this is what I do. So I left. I went to Kith, because every time like I make a substantial amount of money, I be feeling like I need to buy like. Wait, hold on. That ain't them. It's the 7th collection. They just came out, right?
7th collection?
7th collection, right? So every time I get like a large amount of money, like I always like everybody got to get something, right? All right, so look. See the third ones right there that say 500? That's them, but on the website, they don't look like that. They look different. But the ones that I got, they look more like the ones, but I just learned something though. Oh. I'm going to tell you what I just learned.
What?
I just went to the store just now, and the dudes was in there was telling me that like certain jeans, when you buy them and you keep wearing them, right, they actually like
wash out.
Yeah, like but you don't even have to wash them. You just keep wearing them, and they like deteriorated some.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh no, you didn't know?
Hell no, I didn't know that. Yo, it was this dude. Yo, so I went to this jeans store one time, and the dude, yo, no, I don't. He laughed at me. Yo, this dude, right? He told me that, right? He's like, yeah. I said, I asked him like, yo, these jeans is crazy, like, and he was like, that's those right there, and I was like, yo, I'm like, why this nigga playing with me like that? You know what I mean? I'm like why he telling me that these jeans is gonna change into some other jeans? But he didn't really add context behind what he was telling me. Right. He just was like, oh, they eventually changed. So just now when I bought some shit, I was killing some time before I came over here. I went to go buy some shit. And like just now, I just spent $150 on like a jacket, and it was like a sample jacket and is it a shirt? There's 2 jackets, right?
That's cool though.
But they was like $75 a piece or some shit like that.
Okay.
Cool. But so the point I was making was every time I get money, like a nice chunk of money, I'd be like, yo, I want to buy everybody in my family something, right? So I went to Off-White yesterday. So I showed my daughter, I FaceTime her like, yo, I like this shirt. And I was like, you like it? She's like, no, I don't like it. But I like the shirt. But the shirt, it was a t-shirt. It was $450. Right. I mean, it's ridiculous, but it's absolutely ridiculous. But it's like, and I'm not one of those people that feel like, cause you know, you got all them people that be like, oh man, for all the hard times, I gotta, like, you know what I mean? I used to pray for times like this, to ride like this. Yeah. Like, you know how Meek made everybody feel like dreams and nightmares, that idea makes everybody feel like if you get money that you could just be responsible with it. But he's not being irresponsible with his money. I mean, at probably one point in time he was. Yeah. But it's like, bro, getting money is not growing up not having shit is not an excuse to be irresponsible.
Right.
And I think like that'd be my biggest problem with shit. It's like people just so irresponsible with stuff. So, and even for me, right? Like it was so funny because I was thinking about like the whole stimmy shit, right? I'm like, I was like, I want to take a picture and I want my caption to be like, that outfit is trash. Like he could have spent that money on getting an LLC and then put it like from a person that don't have an LLC. Like, because the LLC don't even cost that much money. Like people act like that shit costs so much bread, bro. That shit don't cost no fucking money. It's just like just maintaining it and getting all the other shit behind it. Like, and that's the biggest, I think that's the biggest like discrepancy when it comes to like business or like business for, how they would say business for dummies, right? Like for people, not specifically meaning that you're dumb or not intelligent, but people who have never ran a business or had a business, like like
the beginners.
Like before I made any money off a business, like I've probably failed at like 6 ideas. Like I failed at mad shit. So it's like people would tell me what I should be doing. That's the shit that be bothering me the most.
Like,
it's like
this is the first time you've doing it. I think it's just easier for people to want to go on off your losses than your successes.
But at the same time, people also assume that I have everything figured out.
Right.
I don't have everything figured out. Like I don't think you ever have everything figured out.
No.
Like I feel like you never stop growing up neither, right? Like I remember one time I was talking to Pusha T and I asked him about, because I'm a big Pharrell fan, right? So I said, yo, how did y'all like do all this and all that? He was like, we don't know. Like I was thinking he was gonna give me like this big ass breakdown of like, well, we started with this and then it went to that and then we did this and it wasn't that. It was just like he was like, yo, we learned this shit while we was going. Like there's no science to it. And that's why I be telling like Rico Love. I remember I had this R&B artist, right? And Rico Love, like he wrote for Beyonce, Mary J. Blige, Usher, all these big people. I met him through like a mutual friend. So one day he was up here and like my whole idea was like, I got this R&B artist. All I gotta do, like my mindset was like, all I gotta do is go talk to Rico Love. Like I'm gonna make $1 million tomorrow, right? Like all I gotta do is do that. So I go to the studio, I play him some music, and then I'm like, yo, Rico, like what do I do? And he was like, yo. He's like, yo, just do it every day. Yo, when I tell you I was so upset, bro, I was hot Sean Garrett one time, he said, inspect what you expect, right? And I learned that last year, but like looking back, I just had this expectation of like, yo, he's gonna give me like this prolific speech and tell me like, okay, you got this R&B artist, take her to A, and then it'll go to B, then C, then D, and then you'll go all the way to Z.
Like if there's like an instruction manual.
Yeah, it's no instruction manual, bro. Like I swear to God, man, I really believe today, like me being a 38-year-old man, that there's no right or wrong way to live life. Now, I think that your morals come from different places. Like people have morals based upon like how they're raised, and those morals like they come from parents or the streets or school or mentors or uncles, wherever it comes from. That's how you determine like your navigation. But I don't think there's like a right way to do anything. Right. Because I think like everything that I learned how to do right, I had to do wrong. Or I had to, like, you know how when you growing up, everybody always says like, yo, don't be a follower. People like, yo, I be telling my kids, don't follow nobody. You need to be a leader and lead. It's like, how the fuck you gonna be a leader just like that? Nobody's not no natural born leader, bro. Right. Like nobody. Like even
influence somewhere.
Even if you watch Captain America, this nigga was, he was 100 pounds and he was running behind everybody else, and Bucky was his OG. Like right. Bucky was his OG. Then he got the shit or whatever, and then he learned by being around other shit. But it's like, that's why I be using fiction to rationalize shit a lot of times, because a lot of times the answers is right in front of us, but we don't never like we're looking for like this big, we're looking for like, I think that religion plays such a part in that, because like in religion, no matter what religion you follow, it's like, okay, follow the Bible, follow the Torah, follow the Quran, follow whatever, Taoism, Buddhism, whatever it is, you like follow the books and they'll tell you. And I think that like, it's not wrong, but that's just an old construct. Like it's a very old idea. So it's like a lot of it was based, a lot of the things that are taught to us is like based on the stories. And I feel like when it comes down, like when you break it down to religion, it's like a metaphorical sense. But like there's not enough shit based on experience.
Right.
Like, bro, I don't know. Like, if a person said to me, I tell this all the time, when people always ask me, like, yo, Wayno, how do I become I'm an aspiring manager, I'm an aspiring A&R, I'm an aspiring, like, what do I do? I'd be like, I don't know, because if I would have looked on a piece of paper, bro, I swear to God, if somebody would have gave me a piece of paper and said, yo, this is everything you have to do, A to Z, and it would have told me, like, at 18 years old, what I would have had to endure from 18 to 33 when I made life-changing money, I wouldn't have did it. I wouldn't have did that shit. Hell no. Be broke, be like doubt, like, you know what I mean? Like, especially when you're young, you have so much confidence. Because when you're young, like, you know, as you get older and as you're experiencing shit, you feeling like, oh, I could conquer the world. You know, you don't feel like there's much error until the error comes. So if I would have looked on a piece of paper and seen my life from 18 to 33, because 33 is when I made life-changing money. If I would have looked at 18 to 33 and I would have seen everything that happened, I'd be like, fuck no, don't give me that. Like, give me another story. Like, you know what I mean? Like, give me another story or some shit.
But what made it worth it, though?
Yo.
If you didn't even make that money till 33.
Yeah.
I'm here 26.
Yeah.
You're telling me 33 that's when that shit came for you.
Yeah.
And of course, it comes for different times for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
What made it worth it?
I don't know. I think peace of mind. I think, like, so I always say to myself, like, yo, how the fuck did I push? Like, how did I push through? Right? Like what is the thing that made me say, I'm gonna just keep trying? Because, yo, you know what it was? It was like, all right, I felt like I came so far that, like, what else am I gonna do? Like, I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I used to think I was so stupid. Like, when I was a kid, and I'm saying this so honestly, bro. When I was like a teenager, I was so afraid. I was so afraid of failing that I wouldn't try. So I would rather, like, fail completely. I'd rather get a 0 with no 0 attendance. I'd rather get that than to try and get 50% on a test.
That 50 would hurt more, right?
Yeah, because it's just like, all right, I always equate it to, like, playing ball. I would rather, like, I'm different now. My mindset is different now. But growing up, I always used to be like, I would rather lose by 50 than to lose by 1. Because that 1 just would kill me.
Yeah.
So when I was growing up, like, the doubt of myself of that 1 point that I'm, like, it's like, okay, 50 is, let's say I get 50 on the test. You need 65 to pass. But you really need 75 to really feel like you're in the right direction. Mm-hmm. I hated the 50, bro. I hated the 50 so much that I just was like, yo, fuck it, I ain't even gonna do it. Until I learned that was worth, like, as long as you try, like, you able to assess. I didn't understand assessment. I don't even think, yo, bro, you know what really helped me with comprehension skills?
What?
Social media.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like, I don't feel like, I don't think I'm an idiot, and I don't feel, like, discouraged by saying that, but, like, I'm talking about when I first got on, like, MySpace, and, like, I'm writing shit, because I used to write blog, like, I would just write, like, I would have all this stuff in my head and I would just write shit. And then people used to send me messages like, you should write a book. But they used to be like, they would correct me but on my grammar, but they wouldn't correct me in a sense of, like, trying to make me feel down. They just like, yo, like, I didn't understand the difference between they are, there, and there.
Okay.
I didn't understand it until I got on social media and people started, like, chastising me for it. Like, for real, bro. So, like, and it's, to some people that might sound crazy, but, like, I'm still to this day, if I don't know a word, I'll ask, like, oh, what do that mean?
I think that's more than fair, though. It's better for you to ask than for you to be so blind.
But we live in a time in a society where everybody thinks they're right about everything.
Yeah, they want to be so judgmental.
That's what I don't get about, like, this whole shit with the whole, like, the business shit and saying, like, a black-owned business, you can only do this or you can only do that, or, like, if you own 100% and you don't own this and you don't, it's just like, dog, like, and I'm not trying to, like, I said y'all idiots, and when I say y'all idiots, I'm not making a blanket statement as to everybody who reads the tweet. That's just how I tweet. Like, I talk to myself a lot. So, like, I just be saying it, like, I'll read something and I'll read something from, like, 10 people, and instead of me responding to all 10 people, I just be like, y'all idiots. Like, it's like I'm talking to these people in the room. But I don't mean it to every single person. But the thing is that, like, bro, you can't show me a billionaire that owns 100% of their company, of everything that they own. I'm not talking about one company that made them all the money. I'm talking about like
complete shares.
Everything. Like there's no billionaire that, and I think that the problem with people is that they got to stop aspiring to be in a certain class unless they're doing certain things. Like, you ever seen that meme of Bill Gates and I think it was Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, and everybody was like, oh, not one Gucci belt in sight.
Yes, I've seen that mad times.
All right, but look, not buying Gucci belts is not gonna make you a billionaire.
Right.
Like when you talk about Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg, they're two people who've made product that changed humanity.
Right.
It literally changed humanity. So I'm saying, like, if you're shooting to become a billionaire, Gucci should not be in your vocabulary, like, at all, by no means. Like, you look at you aiming at the wrong targets. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, when you see people start saying shit like that, I feel like their vision or their path is convoluted. Like they just talking. They don't really know what they after. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like if you want to be a billionaire, you have to do something that's changing humanity. And everybody that you look at, if you look at like Oprah, I'm speaking of the black billionaires, Oprah, Jay-Z, Tyler Perry, Dr. Dre. If you look at each of these perfect people, everybody might not do the same thing, but the common denominator is that whatever they've done to make money has changed humanity. Like, humanity has had, like, it's affected humanity, whether it's music, whether it's product, no matter what the fuck this shit is. If you look at Phil Knight and Nike and all that shit, like, Nike changed sportswear and fashion in a lot of different ways. I'm not saying that you can't be a billionaire, but like, what the fuck is you after? You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's like it just don't make sense to me. Like, that type of shit don't make sense to me.
I think people are just quick to judge the first thing they see, especially with a meme. It's kind of a thing where it's like, you know, well, that's the one thing I don't need or I do need, and then now I'm gonna be successful. I even in my own friends, like, I've seen like people want to grab the easiest way out.
Yo, you know a term I hate, yo?
What?
Easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
I hate that term, bro, because every time, like, I could tell a person literally, like I said, like, a person could ask me, oh, Wayno, I'm trying to do this, I'm trying to do that, or I want to do this, and I could tell them, all right, I'm not no professor, no scientist, but I feel like when it comes to a path of success, one thing that everybody has to go through in order to be successful is a grind.
Right.
Everybody's grind is different, though.
Of course.
Grind is like your fucking social security number. Everybody got one, everybody's different. So I could tell them all types of ways, and I'll suggest shit like, yo, you should do this, and they be like, oh, that's easier said than done. Show me anywhere in anything that anybody ever said life was gonna be easy. But that's the problem. It's like people are scared of difficulty, and going back to like what you had asked me, like, I think that the thing that was different about me was, bro, I just was like, what else am I gonna do? Like, I dropped out of school in the 9th grade. That was the dumbest shit I could ever did. I got laid off at 29, my third kid on the way, living in the projects, and I didn't go get a job. That was the dumbest. That's some dumb shit too. Like, I don't necessarily say it's dumb, but like, I was pursuing everything I wanted. I was like, yo, this shit has to work. Like, if this shit don't work, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I really felt, it's like really like trying to get off an island, bro. Like, trying to get off an island. Like, that's the way I felt about like growing up in poverty. Like, I really felt like that. Like, me and my mother never been on an airplane together.
Wow.
Never. We never been on an airplane together. Me, my mother, and my sister never been we never been to we never went on a vacation my entire life. And then my mom was telling me one day, my mom was saying to me like, oh, Wayne, one day I want to take you and TT on a vacation, and I know you older, but I just want to take you and just me, you, and your sister. I'm like, Mom, that's not going to happen. And then and her guilt, I said, Mom, we was poor. But there's levels to poor. You know what I'm saying? Like, we wasn't, my mom wasn't no drug addict or nothing like that. You know what I mean? I didn't grow up in no household where a man was beating on my mother, no shit like that. Or my mom was on drugs or selling my shit to get by. My mother was a hard worker, and I feel like everything that I attained from her as far as like the grind. But like, we just didn't have it. And so many people was born like that. And the thing is like, the only thing that's going to change that circumstance is how bad you want it. And when I say want it, I'm not talking about a thing. Like, I'm not talking about a car, a house, a phone, a chain, a ring, a watch, a sneaker, none of that. When I say how bad you want it, is how bad you want to be something. Like, how bad, bro, I swear, I grew up around so many people that I watched take like good paths and wrong paths. So I started using people as examples. Like, okay, by the time I was 14, I started witnessing like crazy violence in my neighborhood. And then I'm watching like a kid that I'm going to school with, oh, he got sent to Spofford. Spofford is kiddie jail, right? Oh, he got sent to Spofford. Him going to Spofford and coming back in like a couple months to come back to school and totally different person. So I'm seeing that as a young kid. Then I'm seeing like adults. Like, I'm seeing adults make the wrong choices, not just from my peers. Like, I mean, not adults was not my peers, but I mean, not just from people that's in front of me, but like other examples. I'm hearing, oh, this cousin did that, or that person did this, or this person did that. So I'm just like, okay, how long do I plan to be on this planet and I could contribute to something? And I just knew that my mother just wanted me to be something, bro. She didn't give a fuck what I was. I could have been in a building right now and been the supervisor of all janitors, and my mother would have been the happiest person on the planet. Right. As long as whatever path I took did not end with me going to jail or dying, my mom was cool with it, or nothing negative. So like, I had all these different examples, and I started figuring out as a young man, like, all right, this is the path I want to take. And this is what I be saying about like young men and women. No matter, one thing that's the same for everybody, no matter what color you are, is poverty. It's poverty in every race. You know what I mean? It's poverty in every race. Now, every race also don't have the same equal opportunity. That's a fact. But this the common thing is poverty. And my thing is this, it's like, how do we get past that? How do we grow from that? How do we like put ourselves in a position where we can make our communities better or make each other better? And I don't know how it is in other places, but just growing up in New York is very selfish. Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody don't give a fuck. Everybody's looking at it like, what do I care about that person? Like, is love thy neighbor, do that come from the Bible?
Yeah.
All right, like, how real is that though? Like, if for everybody to love thy neighbor though, like, think about that concept, right? Because I'm taking it from a metaphorical standpoint, not literal.
Right.
So, all right, if I feel a neighbor, not literally the person that lives next to you, your neighbor in person, the person that's sitting next to you today, or the person that you see every day, or the person that you might come across, how better do we make things if I try to help? And by help, I don't mean give money, because that's what people think help is. Like, everybody think that help is like,
this check.
Yeah, like, here's this check, or like, here's the lotto, like, you know what I mean? Like here's the lotto, the winning lotto numbers. I don't mean that. I mean, like, if I feel that, like, in my neighborhood, that there's so much talent, and talent comes in many forms. It's not just in entertainment. There's talented authors. You know what I mean? There's talented people in the medical field. There's talented people in the entrepreneurial field or the food business. Like, how better is it if I try to provide not a service, but like just some guidance? That's what got me by, bro, guidance. If I didn't have guidance, I'm worth nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
throughout that whole, I'm not gonna say the whole journey, but yeah, your whole journey or everything you went through, how many times have you gotten rejected?
What? I don't know, bro. I can't count. You know what? I got comfortable with, and I want people, like, whoever ever gets to hear this, is like, you got to get comfortable with the word no. What made me comfortable with the word no is my mother telling me no. No, the word no didn't hurt from nobody more than my mother.
Of course.
Growing up. Icy. Ma, can I get this icy? No, you ain't getting that damn icy. I just, hell no, you're not getting that icy. Ma, can I get McDonald's? No. Ma, could I get these sneakers? No, I don't got it. Ma, can I go outside? No, you can't go outside till you do this. Ma, can I have my friend spend the night? No. I had no so many times from my mother that, like, no's from other people didn't bother me like that.
Of course.
It didn't bother me, but like, I experienced so many different no's from, like, when I started trying my path into music. when I was on my path into anything really, because I tried, that's the thing. I feel like to be a successful entrepreneur or a successful business person, you've have to gave a couple of swings at just working. Like everybody can't just like how could you understand the concept of being a worker how can you understand the concept of being a boss if you've never been a worker? Right. If you've never had to deal with a boss. So if you've never dealt with a person who, like, all bosses ain't bad. Some bosses is family like, some ain't. Some bosses is stern, some bosses is lenient. But how could you ever lead a group of people in business if you've never been the one taking the order? You know what I'm saying? So like, you gotta get comfortable with the word no and shit. You know what I mean?
I think people just want to hit boss status too fast.
Because they're attracted to the end result.
I blame you though.
What you mean?
You make it look easy.
But that's not my fault.
It's not your fault. But you make it look easy.
But so all right, so here's my thing with that, right? Here's my thing with that. I'm not doing anything but just being myself at all times.
Exactly.
Now, like, people are so attracted to the end result. It's like everybody who wants to be fit, if they could just press a button, they just be fit. That's why people get surgery and shit, right? Because if they could just fix it, they would, right? But if you tell a person the path, they usually don't want the path because that path endures consistency, which a lot of people lack. But it's not impossible to get. That path comes with discipline. That path comes with like all types of things that in order to achieve your goal, you got to go through. So like I said, like, think about what I said earlier. If you're looking at the paper at 18, you're like, hell no, I ain't doing that. But you just got to go to it. Like, you just have to try it. Like, all right, like this, right? We didn't even let people know where we're at. We on Hear Me Out with Wayno, right? It's a podcast, right? I finally mustered up enough courage to do my podcast. The thing about it, bro, I wasn't confident in doing a podcast. That's the reason why I never did it before. So I had all these people telling me that they enjoy my perspective, and I appreciate each and every one of them, because when I get tweets or I get DMs and it's people telling me that like my words help them get through the day, or they think I'm funny, or they think I'm informative or witty, or whatever the case may be, or real, or whatever the case may be, that's what kind of like pushes me. So the whole time I'm in my space of doing media, everybody knows it. I got added on to a show that the bar was set really high for, with Everyday Struggle. It's fucking Joe Budden and Academics. They basically made ESPN First Take for hip hop, and they killing it. And I'm watching that shit every day. And 6 or 7 months later, after I see the show, I end up on the show. And like, I feel like, yo, stars align, because I never wanted to be a person on camera. Like, that never was my thing. Like, I just always wanted to be a person that nobody knew that was rich. I wanted to be able to go anywhere, walk down any block, and nobody stopped me, and I could just be rich, and I'm just rich and nobody know me. And the thing about Everyday Struggle is it came at the right time in my career. I was transitioning out of one situation. I was trying to figure out what the next situation was. My money wasn't all the way right. You know what I mean? It was right, but it was going wrong. You know what I mean? So I had to figure shit out. And it's like, I end up on this show. So, excuse me, as I'm doing the show, people were saying, yo, man, one day you need to do your own shit. I'm like, I just got here. What you mean I need to do my own shit? One day you need to get away from academics, and and what people don't know is that I learned so many things from academics, man. Like, I learned so much about like doing media. I didn't know that you're supposed to be I understand being entertained, but I didn't think I was entertaining anybody. I just thought I was talking. So as I get on, EDS, and I'm starting it now, like a year and a half goes by, and I'm thinking like, yeah, I kind of want to do other media, but I was scared, man. Not scared as like petrified, but I was like kind of wary as to how am I gonna do this. Like, I know how to go on people's podcasts and talk, but I don't know how to run a podcast. Salute to my man's Tax Stone too, because Tax has started his thing a couple years ago, and I felt like he was great at it. But he used to tell me that I could be good at something like that one day, and I never looked at it that way. And I just was like, how do I? And I was like, yo, you know what? Fuck it. I just got to go through the growing pains of doing a podcast. I got to do it. I don't care about what the first week numbers is going to be, the first week views, how many people are not going to like it. I just want to provide content for people who want to hear me speak. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm like, I'm you know what I mean? I'm feeling good. Like, you know, I'm feeling good because I took that leap. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you need to take that leap. So now I'm just like trying to figure this shit out and navigate it. You know what I mean?
I know you're looking at the screen and that shit looks mad random.
Yo, what the fuck is that?
So, so I saw this video mad randomly, and I feel like it's something you could relate to.
Yeah.
So just tell me what you see. Hold on. What do you see?
Oh,
from that. Just from that.
From that?
Just from that.
Oh, the path with the obstacles it gets there the same time as the path that's a straight path.
Right.
But the obstacle, you're gonna have to go through the obstacles.
Even.
But you on some psychological shit.
Because you know what it is that a lot of people think that path, just to even get where you are, is probably just the straightest path.
Right.
You know, like there's nothing else you had to do. You didn't get no no's. You just got a show on Complex, and it was it.
What's crazy is I didn't even understand it until like when I got on it and I started seeing like other media personalities or people who consider themselves journalists or went to school for that. I started seeing like all types of, I wouldn't call it hate. I would just say like distaste for me. I never did nothing to nobody, but I started hearing all this shit about what I wasn't and how I never did this and how I never did that and why do I deserve, and for all those people, fuck you. But at the same time, you're like, you know what I mean? The right place you could be at the right place at the wrong time or the wrong place at the wrong time. And I've been in the right place at the right time, and I swear, I'd never forget this. One time, it was Halloween, and I was outside, and I went outside to get some food, and a couple of my homies is on the corner, and they rolling dice. And as they're rolling dice, I see like this DT, a detective, for people who don't know what DT means, a DT car pulling up slowly. So I'm trying to signal them, and I'm trying to tell them to stop the dice game, right. Keep it moving. These idiots start walking towards me.
No.
So as I see them walking towards me, I go to cross the street, and a cop gets out, and he like, yo, get on the wall, and I'm like, I said, I didn't even do nothing. He said, you in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was like, damn. And when I tell you, because I had a warrant for my arrest, bro. I had a bullshit warrant. I forgot what the warrant was for, but it was a bullshit warrant. And the cop takes, and he's like, he brings all of us around the corner. The crazy thing is, as we're walking to the corner, somebody threw an egg out the window at the cops, and when it hit the floor, everybody else walking, they all threw something out their pocket. Like they all threw some shit out their pocket, and the cops didn't see it. So we get to the corner. The cop, he's asking everybody who, at least it was like 8 of us. I think like only 2 of us had IDs. Everybody didn't have ID. So as we stand in it, it's 2 black cops. This is real interesting because like it's 2 black cops. So these 2 white cops is walking over, and the black cop comes over to us and says, yo, no matter what these 2 dudes do when they come over here, don't react to them. And we like, all right. So the cops come over, the white cop come over, and he takes his flashlight, and the first thing he does is he takes this flashlight, this big ass flashlight, and he's putting it in everybody's eye, like this close. He's putting it in everybody's eye because he wants to see if somebody smacks it or fuck out my face. But the black cop told all of us, he said, yo,
chill.
Don't, because he probably knew that they was gonna do some bullshit. So whatever. So the cop says to me, he calls me. So he said, Mr. Clark. So I started laughing. He's like, oh, you already know what I'm calling you for, right? I was like, yeah. He was like, yo, you got a bullshit warrant. He's like, go downtown, handle it. But he's like, I'm telling you right now, if I catch you back out here tonight, I'm gonna lock you up. I was like, deal. So I'm going back in the house. I went back in the house too. Mad random story.
Nah, I mean, it's funny.
Mad random story.
I was gonna ask you about how many times did you catch a win and it didn't even feel that good?
It didn't feel like, well, all my wins feel good, but the thing about it is by the time everybody else knows about it, I don't care. Cause I'm moved. What I learned was like
by that point,
early in my career, like when I first started like at Rockefeller,
right.
Like I was so on my high horse because I had achieved like getting out the mailroom. I was a kid that was in the mailroom, got out the mailroom, got into a label, interned, and got a job. and it wasn't a well-paying job, but it was an important job.
Yeah.
So like I felt like can't nobody tell me nothing. This shit gonna be forever. So I learned to not get caught up on the win. It's like by the time like when a press release now, like by the time a win comes, it's a press release. I know about this shit a month or 2 months before it happens, or months before it happens. So by the time everybody else is like, oh, yo, this is dope. What you gonna do? Yo, I be like, I ain't doing shit, man. I'm gonna see me on the next one. You know what I mean? Cause for everything, I'm like, I wouldn't say I'm very private, but like I'm very close knit when it comes to the things that I do. So everybody who's around me that's in the know, they know what I'm doing. So by the time like I get to that, I'm just on some shit like, man.
The people who had to know, they know already.
Yeah, they know already.
That was the process, and then this is just the rollout you're seeing.
That's just a rollout, yeah. And by that time, it's like I'm already on like, what are we gonna do with this? It's not so much about like what it is. It's like, okay, most things that I get is just a new job. So it's just like, okay, what are you gonna do with this new job? You know what I mean? And the thing about it is like in my career field, you could bounce around. You could do this. Like for me, I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do 5 years from now. I don't have no 5-year plan of, yo, in 5 years, I'm gonna retire. I'm gonna work until the day I die. Like I'm literally, but I think that my work will change because it's always changing. You know what I mean? But I'm just trying to get like smarter. And I've gotten smarter, and I've learned ways how to like allocate my time better, because a lot of times when you going hard all the fucking time, you feel like something's gonna happen because you're going hard. And that's not necessarily you got to put the work in the right places. It's like planting seeds. It's like, all right, like you could plant seeds all over, but like if you plant them in the right type of soil, that's where they're gonna grow. You know what I mean? So it's like just planting shit in the right spaces, making sure that this is here, using this to get to that, making sure that once I'm into this situation and this system, how do I learn? How do I attain any information so I can move that shit on? You feel me?
How many times you've had people try to sabotage your shit though?
I don't know. I really don't know, bro. I'm not trying to be cliche, because a lot of times I've had a lot of people tell me, like in the industry, that like, and I don't know if how true it is or not, but people be telling me like, yo, a lot of people tell me like, I never met somebody that don't like you as a person. Like most people that I come across, now everybody doesn't like me. I'm not a person that believes everybody likes me, but they tell me like most people that come across you don't have like nothing negative. So it's like, I'm always in charge of my own shit. Like I don't have a manager because I do management for a living. So not that I'm above having a manager, it's just that I'm in a place where I create my own opportunities.
You can hold your own.
Yeah, it's like I meet a person, I meet a person and I be like this, right? Like, all right, I meet a person from this company and I'm always looking at, like if a person says, yo, we want you to pose with this Poland Spring bottle. I'm like, how can I give Poland Spring to my whole neighborhood? How can I, like, if you thinking about paying me to do this, take this one picture, how can we make it into a campaign over the next 3 months? And I can promote the brand, and you can get, like, I can get paid, but you can get the looks, and we both share that, whatever it is that we're trying to accomplish. Like, I'm always looking forward. I'm not never looking like at the most minimal thing I could do. I'm always the person that's trying to do more. So I've never really dealt with people sabotaging my shit, because most people don't know about what's going on. Only people that really be knowing about what's going on is me and my lawyer, you know what I mean? And my family until it's done, for the most part.
But then even with that being said, I feel like, because you're humble, in my opinion, right?
I hate that word.
Humble, you hate humble.
I don't hate it. I don't hate humble. I dislike when a person feels like you should be humble. Because I feel like this. Don't lose your thought, because I want you to get back to it. But I feel like this, right? There's people that a person could be like, they could be doing whatever that's making them happy. Right. They could go fucking buy a Lamborghini helicopter because they worked hard for it. Whatever it is. And it'd be somebody be like, yo, they need to humble themselves.
Nah.
Why they need to humble themselves?
They earned it.
But the problem is a lot of people that say that you need to humble yourself is based on an insecurity that they may have within them, where your mind, how you think, how you feel, how you build is threatening to them, which it ain't. It should just be encouraging you. You never should look at anybody and be like, man, I don't like that they doing good. You know what I'm saying? Like I think that's a mental illness, bro. Like it's some sort of mental illness where you can look at anybody, specifically a person that looks like you, and feel like they shouldn't be attaining the things that they are.
It's envy.
Yeah.
It's straight up envy.
It is. That shit is whack. I'm gonna ask DJ Envy why he named himself DJ Envy for real. Because why would you pick that name, man?
You know, it's funny. You would probably hope for or maybe expect a whole long list or something. Yeah, it's probably like, it sounds good.
Yeah, it sounded good. Like, it does sound good though, but it's a horrible word. But it's a bad word with a bad meaning almost. It's a sin, right? But it's like, it do sound good though.
Yeah, it do sound good.
It do sound good.
Oh, well, I was gonna ask you. So like, okay, maybe not even humble. Let's say, I mean, you're a nice. I'm gonna say fellow. I don't know. I don't have the fucking word. Whatever. Right. I was gonna say, what would it take for someone for you to not like somebody? I feel like that would probably.
I don't like mad people.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So maybe it's not as hard as I think.
Yeah, I don't. I
feel like you might. I don't think you like probably have a list of certain signs or something, but I feel like something has to kind of throw you off.
I don't like. I'm gonna tell you what I don't like, bro. I don't like when it comes to people.
Right.
I don't like people who can't be themselves. I don't like bullies. I don't like people who can't be themselves. I don't like people who try to court you or get cool with you to harm you.
Did you come across that a lot?
In the street.
Oh, yeah.
When you deal with people in the street, yeah. Because they try to like. I feel like if you, I'm not in the streets no more. I come from the streets. Yes, I'm not in the streets. But I feel like if you a gangster, then you should just do gangster shit if that's how you feel. Gangster shit is, because that's the, people, when I say gangster shit, I don't mean anything good. People think the word gangster means something good. Like, there's something good in that. There's nothing good in gangster. But I feel like if you have a distaste or a dislike for somebody, you should just do it. You shouldn't try to like make them warm up to you, or, you know what I mean? I feel like, or
don't even just talk about it. Just do it.
Yeah. But I also feel like I don't like devious people. I don't like people who aren't forward thinking. And I'm not gonna say I don't like people. I don't like when people don't believe in themselves. It's hard to believe in yourself. Yeah. Yeah. So for me, I'm always trying to encourage. Like I'll encourage anybody, bro. Anybody. I don't give a fuck who you is. Cause I feel like there's good in everything. Almost, except for the word gangster, right? But I feel like there's good in a lot of things, and I feel like you just gotta unlock that shit.
You ever did that for your own friends though? Like, have you ever tried to encourage your friends and they just didn't go through?
Absolutely, family members too.
Does that hurt?
Hell no, it don't hurt. It hurt them, not me. The thing is like, bro, it's like I'm not a selfish person, but I feel like I'm entitled to be selfish. Right?
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm entitled to be selfish. Now, I don't even know if that makes sense, but that's how I feel. Because the thing about it is that you try to encourage people, but you can't want nothing for nobody that they don't want for themselves.
Yeah.
My problem is that I see the end result in people sometimes so much that it clouds my judgment. It clouds my judgment to if I'm making the right decision as to dealing with the person. So like I'll look at a person and I'll see their potential, and I'm so in love with their potential that I can't see the signs of that they won't achieve it. Period. I'll fucking push it to the side because I feel like I can help you. Mm. I can push you. I could be the gas in your car to make you get to where you want to be. But it's a lot of people that's just not gonna do anything with themselves. Now, like, it doesn't hurt me because it's just like, oh, that's a shame. You know what I mean? Like, oh, that's unfortunate, you know? But I don't feel bad by that. It's they lost. For them not, like, for you not doing for you is a disservice to yourself and a disservice to people who love you. So you got to deal with that. I ain't got to deal with that.
I mean, it kind of comes full circle because it's almost like from your past where you just said, like, at one point you didn't even try. But trying is just one thing that really, not humbles, but it means a lot to you now. Yeah, because you know what it is? I figured out that, like, once I figured out that trying was better than not trying, then I started trying more. You know what I'm saying? Like, it took some failing though. Like, like, I always say, like, all right, you look at Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played,
basketball professionally 15 years. He won 6 championships, right? In 15 years. Now, when people say that that's the way he did it was the greatest way to ever do it, right? But on the other hand, when you look at those numbers, if you say a person shot 6 for 15, that's not a good shooting night.
Right, it's not.
Right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like when you look at a person, you have to look at your wins as a product of your L's. Like you should give your every win you get should be, you should credit your losses just as much as you celebrate the win. You should credit your losses, because it's like, how the fuck do you get to a place where you win if you don't know, like if you really won, if you don't know loss, if you don't know defeat? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like and that's it's my biggest problem with everybody telling these fucking kids that they all winners. All kids are not winners.
Yeah, like participation trophies.
Participation trophies, bro, is the worst shit ever. It's the worst shit ever. You just breeding incompetent humans by doing shit like that. Because it's like, I said this before, like my son, he played in a basketball tournament and he won a championship and an MVP. And he worked hard for that shit.
Right.
But the next year, he got bumped in the first round in the same tournament. And they gave him a participation trophy. And I was like, you proud of that? And he's like, what you mean? I was like, they just gave you a trophy just because you played. I said that you got the same trophy as the person who didn't play.
Right.
I mean, who didn't really get no time.
So the person who didn't play either.
The person that didn't get a chance to play.
Yeah.
So the kid that signed up, they got a trophy just because they signed up to play, but they didn't put the work in that you put in, and you lost. You proud of that trophy? He threw that shit in the garbage. He threw it in the garbage. You know what I'm saying? I don't feel bad about that at all, because I feel like even with children, that's why adults be so fucked up, because we lie to our kids so much, because we always say, oh, they're just a kid. They're just a kid. Let them be kids. They're going to be adults one day. And a lot of people who are adults hold on to how they felt when they were children. You know what I'm saying?
You learn from a lot from your environment and from your influence.
Absolutely.
Especially if he's looking up to you.
Huh?
Especially if he's looking up to you.
Yeah, or just anybody, period. Because I didn't look up to my father when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I didn't look up to my father. I looked up to Michael Jordan. That was my superhero. And I love my father, but me and my father had a whole argument about that shit. Cause he asked me, he said, who's your role model? I said, Michael Jordan. He said, yo, if you would have seen his face, like, yo, he had this face like he couldn't fucking believe it, bro. He was like, I'm not your role model. I was like, no. I was like, no, you're not my role model. I was like, Michael Jordan. And he was like, how is Michael Jordan your role model, but I'm not? I said, you can't play basketball better than Michael Jordan. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then the thing was, like, I didn't grow up in a household with my dad. So I love my dad, but it's like, it's not like I see you every night hugging my mother. I never been on a plane with you neither. Like, we never went nowhere. So it's like, you want me to be, like, I love you, but like, you want me to hold you as somebody I want to be like. And like, my dad was in the street and he was trying to make it seem like he wasn't because he didn't want me to realize that. Yeah. But once you get to a certain age, you're like, I'm not stupid, dog. I know what you're doing.
When it comes to like Jordan, right? 6 rings.
Yeah.
He went back to back for 3 and 3.
Yeah.
Right. Even right now with like the NBA, a lot of people say like rings are important.
Yeah.
You agree?
Absolutely.
But Jordan got his 6. Because a lot of people trash LeBron, saying he didn't get his 6, and then if it goes back to what you were saying, it's like if he went 6 and 15.
Bro, I'll say this about, because I see a lot of people on social media that say this shit. I seen Michael Jordan play basketball. Like, I never went to a game, but I'm talking about like I was a kid watching him. Now the thing with LeBron James is like, bro, Steve Kerr said this shit one time. He was like, yo, do you know how hard it is to go to the finals that many times? Even if you lose, you know how hard it is to go to the finals that many times or you change the whole dynamic of the NBA based on your move. Like, everybody waits for you to say what you're gonna do, and then they like, all right, we're gonna do this based on what he do. So the thing with LeBron is like, he also went against, like, not that Jordan didn't play against everybody sweet, which everybody always tries to equate it like, oh, he was played against Jeff Hornacek and Jeff Hornacek and John Stockton, which they wasn't sweet, bro. Like, they was not sweet by no means. But like, yo, LeBron went through some real tough competition. Like that Boston team in 2010, yo, you got Kevin Garnett, who was the #1 overall pick straight out of high school. right? I believe he was the number 1 pick out of high school. You got Paul Pierce, who's another lottery pick. You got Ray Allen, who's another lottery pick.
And Rondo.
But the reason why I'm saying these lottery picks, not only are they lottery picks, they're seasoned vets. And they just got Kobe the fuck up out of here a couple years ago. You know what I mean? They just got Kobe. Soon as Pau Gasol came over, they got him up out of here. So it's like, then they just lost. Well, no, they 2009. They didn't make it to the Lakers went against the Magic in 2009. So 2010, they trying to get back. Bro, these niggas not playing. He went against them. He went against Tim Duncan. When LeBron made it to the finals his 3rd year in the NBA. People don't talk about that. Yo, he came in the league in 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. His 4th year. 4th year in the league, he went to the finals. Then he went 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
That whole Warriors
18
is just wild there.
No, 18 did he go? Who went the Warriors, yeah. 18.
Yeah.
19. Bro, are you fucking kidding me? Yo, bro, that is crazy. And this is what I'm saying. It's like, but that's the problem because like we so addicted to perfection, we can't accept flaws.
Yeah, because if he ain't only holding a trophy at the end of the year, he's not a winner to them.
But at the same time, it's like I remember the year when I was in the 7th grade when Michael Jordan came back to the NBA. I was in the 7th grade when Michael Jordan came back to the NBA, and Shaq and Penny bumped him. Nobody talks about that. 2 young kids. Now everybody, oh, he was playing baseball. He's still Michael Jordan. You still equate him to a god in basketball. So the exception is for him.
The GOAT.
Right. And I think that to me, Michael Jordan is the best. To me, Michael Jordan, he is the best basketball player. But I feel like LeBron might be the greatest athlete we've ever seen, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Him and Tom Brady too. Tom Brady is Usain Bolt. It's a lot of great athletes. It's a lot of great athletes, bro. There's tons of them.
You played basketball when you were younger, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you didn't play basketball, would you have done football?
I wanted to play football, but my mother wouldn't let me because I was too skinny.
I feel that.
Yeah, my mom went and so I moved to Maryland. Glen Burnie, Maryland, when I was 10 going on 11. And in Maryland, like they had, like where I grew up in the Bronx, they didn't even have basketball programs. There wasn't nothing like that. When I went to Maryland, that was the first time I played like organized ball. And I played organized ball, and then the kids out there was playing other sports, like, because that's the first time I grew up, was around white kids, like, you know what I mean? And white kids that play sports, they play every sport. Right. So they playing baseball, football, basketball, hockey, all types of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wanted to play baseball at one time, but I just didn't. Like, the reason why I never played baseball is I could never catch with a glove. I can't.
Webbing?
Huh?
You can't catch.
I can't catch with that shit, yo. I could catch with my, like, you could throw almost any ball to me, I could catch. Pause. But like, but I can't catch I can't catch a fucking baseball with a glove. So that always bothered me. So I never tried.
That shit hurt, bro.
It does?
Yeah, that shit hurt.
I never played it. But then I wanted to play football because my friend, moving from that shit is a culture shock, bro. Like moving from one state to another. Oh man, being a young kid, that shit is big, bro. Because like 7th grade, I had one friend in all of school. I didn't have no friends. I had one friend.
And how many kids were in the school?
Man, it's a fucking middle school, 6th to 8th grade. I had one friend. Because people they didn't like me because they literally didn't like me because I was different. Like I'm talking about, and I don't mean different as like I was wearing fucking some other shit. I'm talking about they didn't like me because my voice was different than it, like my accent. So they was calling me country. I'm from New York City. They calling me country. Like they was getting on me saying that I was country because I say sneakers. We don't say, they say tennis shoes. They say tennis.
I would never say that.
Yeah, we say sneakers in New York. Yeah. So like I really didn't have no friends, bro. Like them kids was against me. Like they really was against me.
Damn. And what about high school?
Bro, so the thing with high school, like the tough shit about school for me was, in 5 years, I went to 5 different schools and lived in 5 different places.
Whoa.
But see, all right, so let me break it down real quick.
Yeah.
Same school from kindergarten to 5th grade.
Okay.
I graduate from 5th grade. My mother gets pregnant with my sister. She's with my sister's father. We moved to the other side of town. I start junior high school at this school on our side of town. I do 6th grade. 7th grade, my mother and my sister's father decide that they want to move to Maryland. So we moved to Maryland. I'm thinking, shit, I'm not happy about it, but I'm going to be living in Maryland now for the rest of my life until I get older. We go to Maryland. I finished 7th grade. I come back to New York. I'm staying at my aunt's house for the summer, chilling with my dad and all that shit. I'm thinking when my mom comes up here, she coming to get me to take me back home. She comes up with all our shit talking about we not going back to Maryland. I'm like, what? So at that time we moved. My mom didn't have a job or nothing. So, cause she had just picked up and left. Like, people it's not just, they was in a relationship and they broke up. So they come back here. My mom, so now it's my mom, my grandmother. My grandmother was with us, and my little sister. So we went into the shelter system. So we in one shelter, then we went to another shelter. And now I'm in the 8th grade. So we in one shelter, we moved from that shelter to another one, and then we there for the next one for 2 months, and then the next shelter we supposed to be there for it's like a 9-month program, and then you get an apartment. So we in there. I'm in that shelter for the whole 8th grade. And then I graduate from 8th grade to go to 9th grade. And then we finish our program at the shelter and then we move again. And then my mom has been at the same place ever since. So I didn't have stability in school. 6th, 7th, 8th grade, you kind of gelling with your friends and y'all talking about what high school y'all gonna go to.
Right.
Y'all figuring out what y'all gonna do. Y'all gonna play ball. Y'all gonna do this. Y'all gonna do that. You kind of figuring that out. I didn't have none of that. And then when I got to high school, that shit didn't, junior high school did not prepare me for high school. I really would have stayed another year. I would have left myself back if I could, knowing what I know now, to prepare myself, because when you get to high school, now you're responsible for going to class. In junior high school, it's only 2 floors. So it's you can't really go nowhere.
Right.
You in there all day. It's almost like elementary school. So I'm in high school and it's I get to school and it's if I don't want to go to the first period, I don't have to. Fuck it, I ain't going. And then that became a snowball effect of not going, and goes back to me not trying. And bro, it got to the point where I was just going to high school to go to lunch and gym. I was sneaking in people's gym periods and sneaking in the lunch periods, and then I dropped out because my guidance counselor said that I was on the verge of getting kicked out. And if I would have got kicked out, then it would have been hard to me to reapply to high schools. But if I drop out due to my conditions, because I wasn't getting it right in schools, I could go to alternative school, because they figured out that I wasn't learning good in a big setting. I couldn't learn.
Okay.
Right.
That's still so twisted, though.
It's still twisted, but basically she was saying from the application process.
Right.
When you get kicked out of school, they not looking at why you're getting kicked out.
You got kicked out.
I would be getting, because I had got suspended. And then I was just not going to class. So I would be almost equivalent to a kid who got kicked out for fighting. They not looking for, you know what I mean? They not looking for as to why. They just oh, we kicked them out. You know what I mean? So when another school is taking you in, they looking at it all right, he dropped out. Well, why did he drop out? Oh, he dropped out because because the alternative school is just a smaller setting. So they alternative high school is just a smaller setting. So they looking at it oh, well, he must have just, he dropped out because he can't learn. Let's get him into a smaller setting where he can learn. My shit was all over the place. I dropped out of alternative school, went to GED school, dropped out of GED school. It got to the point where I couldn't learn in a school setting.
How did you make the most of kind of moving from place to place, though? Because it's like what you said. It's you didn't have not the normal shit, but you didn't have the I'm looking forward to seeing my friends again next year, or playing some shit out for the summer. You moved everywhere.
It's a gift and a curse, bro, because it made me a loner. Like
Yeah.
it made me a loner. Like I have friends though. Like I have great friends. Like I got a few. Like everybody has a few best friends. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't be with people like that. Like and I don't, when I go to do something, I don't feel the need to have somebody come with me. You know what I mean? Like I would rather like I'd rather just go by myself. But I think that's because of my journey in school, because I didn't really like, when I was in 6th grade, I had this one friend that used to come to my house every morning to come get me, and we walked to school together. And we was in the same class. His name was Troy. You know what I mean? And we was cool, but like I lost that when I got to 7th. And in 8th, I kind of stayed away from everybody because I was living in a shelter. I didn't want nobody I didn't want nobody to joke on me. You know what I mean? And then like I didn't even get comfortable with letting people know I lived in a shelter till I was like 20 years old. Cause it was embarrassing. I mean, I wouldn't say it's embarrassing. It's just, as a kid, I never foresaw myself living in a situation like that. But it's like, even when I was living in the shelter, bro, I was looking for acceptance. Like, I was just thinking about the other day how was this dude that lived in the shelter, like, and he was an older dude, and I used to try to be around him, and he used to like try to shit on me, and I used to be like, I'm saying to myself like, now like this dude is such a fucking idiot. Like, why was I trying to be around him? Like, but I just wanted to be around older people. Like, I always say my generation is the generation of kids that wanted to be grown. Like, we wanted to be adults too fast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
What do you think my generation is?
people who want to just stay as kids. Like,
you know what's funny is that I was gonna
like, for real, I feel like
I see that now.
Yeah, I feel like because you know what it was. It's like when I was 16 or 15, I thought that 25 was like this grown, mature
old,
age. Yeah, like old. Like when you're 25, you're this man, and you like, you know what, like you got a house and you got a car and you got a this and a that and like as I got older, like by the time I was 25, I had my own crib. Like, you know what I mean? I moved out my mom's house when I was 22, but like I had moved out or whatever. But like once I got to my 30s, once I got into my 30s, the 22, the 23, the 25-year-olds act like they 17. Like when I was 25, like I don't feel like the 25-year-olds I was around.
Right.
Like, not that they wasn't the most responsible people, but like they wasn't like acting like the way a lot of 25-year-olds today act. You know what I'm saying? And that shit just, like, to me, like it just didn't make no sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Before we go, give me a couple of free throws from your phone if you can.
Okay. Let's see.
And
let's see
for people who are listening to this first episode or whatever we want to call this, Wayno's free throws are exactly what you think. They're free throws. They're shots,
right? Like,
shots given.
They're just shots, right?
That he's gonna take from you. He's gonna check your shot, and he takes your questions.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna just go live. Let's go live and see how
Why
this
not?
goes. All right, let's go live.
People are gonna question where you are.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, "What you doing? Where you at? Why you got that scarf on?"
Now I'm not gonna lie. The first thing I thought was like, "What's that scarf on his head?"
It's just a scarf. I mean, I'm Muslim, but it's just, it's a scarf that a lot of Arabic brothers wear. But it's a scarf. Let's see. All right, we gonna take like 3 questions from the people.
When you go live, like how does it go? Does it go like
I'm about to
0 to like 100 and then 1,000 and then whatever? Like how does that
I don't
work?
be getting 1,000 people. It might be total 1,000, like over 1,000 people, but it's not. Academics is here.
That fast?
That fast. Academics joined the live. So it's right now it's 46 people. It's 53. Yo, so look, I'm doing something. I'm not telling y'all what it is, but if you got any questions for me, if you got a free throw, right? If you got a question, ask me right now, and I'm gonna respond. But you're not gonna see it. Right? They're not gonna see it.
You just get the answer.
You just get the answer. Oh, somebody asked me, why do I own assault weapons?
Okay.
I do own assault weapons. Reason why I own assault weapons is because it's my right.
Is your Second Amendment right?
Yeah, it's my Second Amendment right. I don't own assault weapons because I think that they're cool, because nothing good comes from a weapon, right? Nothing good comes from a weapon. But for myself, I have a family, I have a home, I have a lot of valuable things in my home. And the reason why I chose to purchase an assault rifle is because I got the right to, and I wanted to learn how to shoot the shit, and I keep it in my home just in case somebody wants to fucking have a bad day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I hope they don't, but that's why I own one.
That's a good question.
Oh, academic said he been going to the gun range. Stay protected. All right, let's see. Wait a second. What's up, Ack? I miss Ack, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Yeah. Like, I used to talk this. I talk this brother every morning for 3 years straight, bro. I was like, that's my man. I love Ack.
If you can, just put your phone on this on the microphone.
Okay.
He's talking.
Oh, all right. Well, let me see. Somebody asked me why did I sign Sada Baby. I actually didn't sign Sada Baby. He was signed to Asylum. When I took the job of VP at A&R, I inherited Sada Baby. You know what I mean? Yeah, I be talking to Marv. Me and Marv was talking about getting up. So we gonna do it. I'm definitely not killing nothing. I don't want to kill nobody. That's not what I'm here for. Right.
I think that's just so easy for people to hear assault weapon and they think that you just want to be violent.
This is the thing. He said, like, this person, it's a person that, like, they had asked something before. They said that I just copped to a felony. I didn't cop to a felony because I legally own an assault rifle. Like, right. You can legally own one. Like, yeah. That's the thing that people don't understand. So I live in New Jersey, where people don't, and this is why I want to do, like, it's something that I want to do about educating people on gun ownership. Because in Jersey, you can go buy as many rifles as you want, but you can only buy one handgun per month. So I could go buy 5 M4s, you know what I mean, at one time. Now you ain't gonna get them all at one time. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna get them all at one time, but you buy them, you go through the process of background check, and then you can come pick it up. But you can only buy a handgun at one time, and you don't have to register them.
I know nothing about buying a gun, but is it that easy?
No, it's not easy. Yes, in New Jersey. Look, this is the see what. So the
I didn't know that.
This person is saying not in New Jersey. That's because the thing in New Jersey is that it's all by county. So the rules differ depending on the county you live in. Right. Now, if you live in, I ain't gonna say what county I live in.
Right.
But the county that I live in, you can go purchase a rifle. You know what I'm saying? And so I've had my gun license since 2008. I had my gun license in New York. I got my gun license in New York first, which people think is impossible, right? And you can have your gun license in New York. You just got to read. That's the problem. People don't read shit. You know what I mean?
Right.
People don't read shit. Like, people don't read shit. You could think it's cap, but I'm telling you, I'm a matter of fact, I'm gonna go to the range. I was supposed to go to the range today. I wanted to take my son to the range, but my son don't be wanting to hang with me, man. He want to go to the movies with his friends and all that other cool shit. But I will take my assault rifle. It's a RF-15 by Radical Firearms. I'm a legal gun owner. I would show you my license, but I don't have it on me. I leave it in the house because I ain't got no reason to have it. But I'll show it. But all right, that's it. Nobody really had no too many free throws.
It's Saturday evening, so
yeah. Everybody's out there, you know what I mean? Everybody's out there running around. All right, we're gonna get off live. But yo, that's the thing, right? This is what I want to start educating people on gun ownership, because the thing about the reason why I choose to own guns, and I know we're closing, but the reason why I choose to own guns is because not that it's just my right, it's a responsibility. If you're capable of that responsibility, because owning a firearm is a big responsibility, because it's nothing but a tool. Any tool used incorrectly is gonna hurt you. If it's a fucking hammer, a drill, whatever.
Anything, yeah. Especially
a gun. So the thing about it is that when I started owning guns, I educate my family on guns. Look, you don't hide it from them. This is what's in the house. I take my son to the range and let him shoot my guns. And the reason why I do that is because as long as there's people that don't agree with me as a person and who I am and all of that, I'm going to protect my family and I'm going to protect myself. So
understandable.
That's what that shit is.
It's your right at the end of the day. All right.
Yeah. But that's our first little test run, you know what I'm saying? I think this is going to be like an OG episode. Like, this is going to be like the sample, like the sample of the band ones, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not going to come out first, but we going to eventually, I think that we should give people pieces of it. You know what I'm saying?
They'll be like, oh, so this is where it kind of came from.
Right, exactly.